João had always lived an ordinary life. He worked a regular job, but he never felt truly fulfilled. One day, after losing his job and facing days of frustration and uncertainty, he found himself at rock bottom. However, deep down, he knew that he couldn't stay in this position forever. One sleepless night, while browsing the internet in search of a change, he came across something that would change his life forever. It was a simple skill, yet with a transformative impact that few seemed to know about. Something that could be the key to changing his reality. João, fueled by a growing curiosity, decided to invest his time and energy into learning this new skill. He didn't know exactly where this journey would take him, but something inside him told him that he couldn't let this opportunity pass. That night, he made a choice that would begin to rewrite his story. He would learn this skill and change his life. In the first few days of learning, João faced a great deal of uncertainty. His mind was filled with doubts. Could he really master this skill? How could he compete in a saturated market? Despite the insecurity, he persisted. He spent hours studying and trying to apply what he learned, but the results weren't immediate. In his small room, illuminated only by the light of a desk lamp, he focused, feeling the weight of the difficulties, but also the hope that with time, things would improve. Each night seemed to stretch longer, but he knew that persistence was key. Although the path was hard, he would not give up. João was beginning to realize that change wouldn't come overnight, but with continuous effort he was getting closer to his goal. After weeks of effort and learning, something happened. João had an epiphany. He finally understood how to apply the skill effectively, and he began to see results. They were small but significant signs of success. This renewed his confidence. He felt like he now knew what he was doing, and the future, which once seemed unclear, started to take shape. João began to see himself differently. He was no longer just an unemployed man trying to find his way. Now he was someone who had found purpose and was walking toward a more promising future. He knew that this new beginning was only the start of a longer journey, but he was determined to keep going. As the months passed, João's journey became increasingly challenging. To achieve the success he desired, he had to make sacrifices. He lost nights of sleep, dedicated even more time to studying, and distanced himself from his social life. But he knew that these sacrifices were necessary for his dream to become a reality. Despite the difficulties, João never gave up. He understood that success was not an easy road, but he was willing to face all the obstacles that came his way. The fear of failure still lingered, but he learned to face it. Each challenge he overcame strengthened his confidence, and he became more certain that he was on the right path. Finally, after months of dedication, João began to reap the rewards of his hard work. He landed his first client. It was something simple, but it had an enormous impact on his confidence. The feeling that he was on the right track was unmistakable. His efforts were starting to pay off. Even though the results were still small, he knew that the future was bright. With each new project he completed, his reputation grew. He started to realize that with time, opportunities would start to multiply. What had once seemed like an endless struggle was now becoming a true success story. João finally understood that every small step was bringing him closer to his goals. As João's journey progressed, he began to meet people who would prove essential to his growth. He found mentors and colleagues who shared his ideals. These encounters helped João expand his knowledge and refine his skills. Through these new partnerships, João learned the importance of teamwork and staying surrounded by people who challenged him to grow further. These connections were crucial to his success, and he learned to seize every opportunity for collaboration. The exchange of ideas and experiences helped him strengthen, making him an even more capable professional. Over time, João transformed into a successful professional. He was more confident and better prepared for the challenges that lay ahead. His business began to thrive, and he felt that he had finally found his purpose. The skill that once seemed like a mere trick was now his main source of income and transformation. João not only became an expert in the skill he had learned, but he also became an example of perseverance. He looked back and realized how much he had grown. The insecure, directionless man he had once been was now living a life full of success and accomplishments. The sacrifice, hard work, and sleepless nights had been worth it. He knew there was still much to come, but he was ready for any challenge. Now, with success consolidated, João was a different man. He had not only achieved financial freedom, but also the confidence he had always sought. He knew he had found something that would change him forever. The recognition that once seemed distant was now a reality. João began giving lectures, teaching others like him, sharing his secret and his journey with those still lost, like he once was. He realized that his true success was not only in the finances, but in being able to help others find the same path. He turned his skill into a mission to positively impact the lives of many. With his future now secure, João knew there was still more to achieve. He was not satisfied with what he had accomplished so far. His desire to learn, grow, and help others continued to guide him. He knew that, just as at the beginning of his journey, the secret to success was to never stop evolving. Now, he saw himself as an example of perseverance, something that inspired those around him. João's story was not just about a skill learned. It was about how he used that skill to transform his life and, eventually, the lives of others. And with this new purpose, he looked to the future with confidence. The journey was only beginning.